Go with something hotter. Dun 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 dun. INVA. God damn it. INVA. This one has probably a little bit more juice if you break this 16. You know, I'd be okay with that one. You know, that one's not so bad. So, what's going on? That one's not so bad. Argent. I think you can keep Argent on the watch list too. My only worry is now you're kind of on day 3. You know, if it gaps up, it spikes hard today, and then it's going to turn into a rubber band. So I got on my list too, but I'm like 50-50 on it, you know, on day 3s. And this Odzios just looks almost like a short, right? It's kind of popping back into resistance. You know, that one to me is a no-go either. Morning, everybody. What's up, Danny J? Mr. Tom, how are you? Edwin, what's going on? How you doing? Oh, yeah. Good, 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 good. Let's take a look at the general markets. Let's make some action here. Guys, it's Monday, as always. So, look, the QQQs over here, we're almost at kind of a bear flag type of spot. It's going to be a tricky couple days with the selection stuff happening. Going to be a tricky couple days to trade. You know, you saw like a big dump on Friday. When, who knows, on trade war news, election news, it doesn't really even matter. But, you know, in general, there's going to be some volatility in the markets with what's happening over here. And so you're starting to see, I mean, you're seeing a little bit, you're seeing an okay open, but nothing that special, right? Nothing that special. I'd rather see a flat open, and I'd rather see a flat open than a big gap. So, like, right now, like, this is a perfect type of open. The gappers have been obviously the hot plays the last couple days. There's not that many good ones today. You know, yesterday, obviously, there was a huge amount of hot ones on Friday that you could have played. But I'm noticing today, I don't really see anything that tickles my fancy. Is that even a real term, right? It sounds kind of sounds a little suspect. But anything that tickles my pickle, I'm not seeing anything really that hot here. The one thing with gappers, obviously, is when you have like a gapper list like this, right, you want stocks that are like breaking out or breaking lows, and we're not getting that. So that's going to be just something to really, really think about. So, you know, we've kind of rejiggered our watch list a little bit. You know, the bias on today, obviously, is going to be how do we play the range, right? So we're stuck at the 200 SMA. If the market breaks over this 200 SMA, which we've tested now 3 times, then to me, that's like all systems are go, right? If the market can't break over there, and, you know, we take down, let's say, Friday's lows, we'll just say the market's trading in a box right now. So this is your range, right? So stocks trade in boxes. If you break the top of the box, it's a go. You break the bottom of the box, right, you're going to look to short. And so anything in range, like in the middle, then you're going to have to play back and forth and be very quick. So when you're in range, you scalp, right, and you trade faster. When you break the top of the box or the bottom of the box, you go for bigger elongated gains because now the trend will set and you'll have particular targets that can be elongated. So 2 different ways to look at it when you're looking at kind of which way the market's going to go. Thanks, Suas. Of course, man, when you're looking at which way the market can go. On the gapper side, there was really only a handful that I thought were even worth the damn to play. This SYY might be something. It's breaking under the 200 SMA over here. You're starting to see it start to flush down. There's no WTW or Shake Shack today, it doesn't look like. But this one you can add on the watch list. I'd watch this one. It's going to be a thicker float stock. So when you get a thicker float stock like a Cisco, which is really like a food company, right? It's not going to move like a tech company. You don't want to short it on an ORB play. You know, let it gap down and start to thrust back up to the 9 EMA and then wait for a rollover. The rollover plays have been working really, really well. You know, like if you get an opening like Shaq, you know, we played this on Friday like this, you know, at the open, if you get a flush in something and the SSR triggers, right, that's your short sale restriction, let it pop up into its moving averages and watch it kind of go sideways and roll back under the VWAP, and you'll get yourself like your secondary trade. We called that the VWAP fizzle, but it's been working really like a charm pretty much. I I mean, it's been working pretty much all earnings quarter. So I still keep in Shaq on my watch list. If it breaks, it stays below this trend line and kind of builds a pattern under here, I'm keeping that one on a short list. Same thing with PBYI. It had a real nice thrust at the open. It had a real nice thrust at the open, and now like you kind of ranging over here. You know, if you start to come out of this range, watch and see if it starts to build a pattern under that support. I think you're going to be good to go. W, same thing. You got kind of a 2-day range break. If it breaks under this 93 spot, take this off the list. This NIHD is probably the hottest stock like out of our normal watch list. You've got a flat top breakout over here. Friday, you were starting to see like a real nice trend on this bad boy, right? So you're getting a weak open on this thing. So when you get a weak open on this, what you want to do is watch for the red to green. If you get a weak open, you go red to green and you take out the highs from Friday, I think that's a go. You can start playing this back to the upside. This one's got high relative strength, right? It was up 16% even while the market was acting a little bit nasty. It had 8 million shares in volume, which is pretty good for, you know, a small cap stock that's at like $7, $8. So it's going to have good liquidity. You'll actually be able to get some size in it and stuff like that. Travi, what are you watching today? What's up, Edwin? What are you watching? Asima, how you doing? Mr. Harper, what's going on? What's your fave today? Give me your fave. Show me your goodies. Cool. So now I've added this ACIA. You can see you got a longer term breakout over here that's going from the summer of 2017. You finally cracked this trend line over here. ACIA reported earnings on Friday. It's got a decent amount of shorts on this one. If you go on like shortsqueeze.com, you can always look at different stocks and see what the short ratios are. Remember, the higher the short ratio, the more likely you could get like a multi-day squeeze. So I keep an eye on ACIA here. You get a weak open, and you know, if this thing goes red to green or starts to bust over Friday's highs, watch for it to start building patterns. Right at the open, you can go ORB or quick pullback buy. So watch that at the open after red to green, and you know you may catch a little bit of a squeeze on this one. And then I added this, you know, El Poco Loco Holdings. This one actually was having some sick range on Friday. It's busting out the highs here that it hasn't been at for a while. I used to trade this thing back in when it IPO'd a couple years ago, and it had a fantastic range. It's got a pretty low flow. Its market cap's only 500 million, so usually it's got the ability to have, right, some decent gains. But I'd watch this thing too, because like you can see you're having a weak open on this one. If this thing touches down into 15.16, you know, 15.50, and then it goes red to green, I'd watch this thing for a squeeze zone play, because it's going to have the right range you want, and it's going to be able to do like all the stuff that you want to do. So it definitely has, it's definitely got some juice on it. Hey, Ron, it's on the right side of the screen. It says up gappers, down gappers, baby. Good, 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 good. A couple others I'd ask, a couple others I'd just kind of run into the list over here. I added this DocuSign and this Porker. Yeah, you could go, let me bring up, Porker's got a lot of momentum over here. This is basically one of the handful of stocks that's really holding up near 52-week highs. If you take out this 2250 zone, I think this one's going to have some juice on it. It does trade a little bit thin in volume, and it was only 500,000 shares on Friday. So that's my caveat. I may not take this trade, because if the liquidity's low or the spread is high, like I don't like stocks that have anything more than like 10-15 cent spread. If I see that, I won't take it. So, you know, but watch that kind of 2250 zone. Hey, Usman. Yeah, you know, I had SPLK on a short list too. You could short this one off this 200 SMA if the market rolls over. The one caveat I think on this one's going to be, even when the market was rolling over on Friday, this little sucker wasn't fading off, so it might have some relative strength that won't let it fade. So just something kind of to keep in mind of. Yeah, I mean, Apple is kind of, I mean, it's just it could bleed down a little bit to this kind of 200 or 193, you know, over the next few weeks. It doesn't really, on earnings day, it had a good range, but otherwise it usually doesn't trade that well. But it does look like a bleeder. The big thing with Apple is just going to be like what's happening with the general market. Like if the general market's getting faded off, obviously you'll see a little bit of weakness in Apple. It's a light day on the watch list. We just didn't have, there weren't that many good earnings plays. And with the weakness on Friday, you know, we didn't have necessarily a hot watch list. But I'd go with ACIA, Loco. And then you want to go second day plays on the earnings gappers that we were playing from Friday, right? So when you have like a stock that has earnings and you're playing it that particular day, the second day play is often cleaner than the first day, right? And so the second day plays, because you kind of get all the riffraff and the emotion out, you'll start to see cleaner play. So I put WTW, OLED, and Shaq and PBYI on the list and get this thing going. If you need a long for today, I'd keep an eye on the CYOU too. This one had earnings out today, but it's a clean base breakout. You don't have the 200 SMA of $20, so it's got a little bit of upside to it. Historically, it does trade with a slight spread. I'd make sure to see if the volume comes in. If it doesn't have at least 500,000 to 1 million shares at the open, probably not going to have any heat. You know, I wasn't following this GNBT, but you know, you could put that on your list. It doesn't have the liquidity I need. Hassan, you know, when you're trading, when you got like 100,000 shares in volume, like something like this is really easy to just get stuck in. Like you get in and it's going to have a monster spread. It's only got 100,000 shares. There's, you know, how many hours in the trading day? 8 or 9, right? If you're doing 100,000 shares a day, that's like 10,000 shares an hour to trade for every 60 minutes. And so it gets really easy to get stuck in one of those trades. When it's going up, it's fine. But when the bottom drops out and you want to sell and that spread widens and the liquidity just goes to nothing, what ends up happening is you end up taking a lot bigger loss that you want to. And it kind of sucks. Like I lost a lot of money in my life on like illiquid plays. So just kind of something like you want to really, keep just mind of today. Friends, I got to get going. As always, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been fast. You know, make sure to give us a thumbs up if you like us on YouTube and stuff like that. It really helps spread the word to the community. As always, I'll be here tomorrow. Trade smart today. There wasn't a huge watch list of stocks. And when there's not a huge watch list of stocks, you know, you want to trade a little bit less and let the market come to you. Let the market dictate what plays are going to be had. Try not to chase anything when the watch list is just a little bit light like this, because, you know, there's news in the air. I mean, you guys saw the Trumpster tweet, that Game of Thrones meme on Friday. It was pretty epic, but the market starts to fluctuate when they see stuff like that. Good. Guys, let's go do what we do, man. Let's go do what we do. You ready to make some money? All right, let's go make some money. Let's go do what we do.